It's match day 3 in the AFC Champions League Elite 2025-26 group stage, and in the East region, Shanghai Port take on Machida Zelvia. Welcome along to the Pudong Football Stadium in Shanghai, China. Here are the standings going into this game. And well, you can see Shanghai Port now bottom of the standings after Melbourne City got their first win of the season in the earlier kickoff. In fact, there are a couple of 3 games earlier on today. We'll catch up with those in a moment, but here is the weather in Shanghai. Perfect evening for football, 15 degrees, perhaps a touch on the humid side, but nothing that should worry the sets of players. Well, the visitors out in the tunnel nice and early, just waiting for the host to join them. So let's take you through what happened a little earlier on today in the East region. As I mentioned, Melbourne City came from behind to beat Buildup of Thailand by 2-1. Those goals coming late. They were 1-0 down, the winner coming in the 97th minute. Ulsan beats Sanfrecce Hiroshima by 1-0, and Johor Darul Tazim of Malaysia beat Chengdu Rongcheng of China by 2-0. Johor's first win of the season. Well, with only 6 rounds remaining, 3 points very much needed for both sides. Shanghai Port, this is the second of 4 home games, and taking advantage of home fixtures is key for success in this competition, with Seoul and Ulsan, both of whom currently sit in the top 4, still to come here at home, and 3 games on the road in Thailand against Buildup, Johor of Malaysia and Gangwon of Korea. Tonight already feels like a key match for Shanghai Port in their quest for a place in the round of 16. As for Machida Zelvia, the dream and meteoric rise continues. If this is your first experience of watching them by way of a small history, the club was formed as recently as 1989 and played their first season in the professional league in Japan only as recently as 2009. They gained promotion to the J-League for the first time in their history last season and finished an incredible 3rd to qualify for what is their debut season in the Asian Champions League Elite. After opening their campaign with 2 draws, they face the bottom 2 sides in the standing in the next 2 matches. Here tonight against Shanghai Port, and then home to Melbourne City, who were bottom of the standings before match day 3 started, but they face Melbourne City on match day 4 in 2 weeks' time. Likewise, you feel this is their window to start collecting wins, as they've got trips to Gangwon in Korea, and again here to Shanghai to take on Shenhua Shanghai, with home fixtures against Melbourne, which we just mentioned, Ulsan and Chengdu Rongcheng. But as any sports psychologist will tell you, it's about the here and now and to focus on the present. The flag bearers lead out the officials and teams. Tell you more about our officials in a moment. But for the visitors, they need a change of fortune. Just 1 win in any of their last 7 fixtures has seen them stall at the wrong moment in the J-League. Their last match on Saturday played out a 0-0 draw at home to Avispa Fukuoka to drop below Kawasaki in the table to 7th. As for the hosts, well, they are hoping and looking to progress beyond the round of 16, which is where they got to last season, beaten by Yokohama both home and away. The competition anthem rings out around this magnificent stadium as the pre-match high fives are done down in front of the main camera position. We can bring you the team news for both sides, with both teams making plenty of changes. Shanghai Port, last time out in the Chinese Super League, beat struggling Qingdao 4-3 with a performance that concerned some Chinese pundits. Their head coach there very much in the media. Again, we can cover that in a moment with a potential move away, which has subsequently fallen through. Magnificent stadium to the north of the centre of Shanghai, completed in 2020. Shanghai Port moved here in 2023, got a capacity of 37,000. Let's bring you that team news. Shanghai makes 7 changes to the side from their last outing. The players remaining, the midfield duo of number 10 Vital and 22 Jusa, and the defensive duo of 21 Melendo and 3 Browning. Gustavo's 90th minute red on match day 2 means he'll miss 3 match days. A ban that will take him up to and including November the 25th. Mateus Vital is Shanghai's main creative source. The 27-year-old has Copa Libertadores and Copa Sudamericana experience. On the bench, number 45 Leo has been their main goal threat this season, but no place for him in the starting 11. No place in the matchday squad for their other Brazilian, Gabrielizinho. The matchday officials are all from the United Arab Emirates. Our referee Ahmed Isa Darwish, 34 years of age. 5th match in charge this season, but his debut in the AFC Champions League Elite League. And our VAR officials, should we need them. As for AFC Machida Zelvia, they make 5 changes to their starting 11. The keeper and the back 3 remain the same. In the midfield, number 11 Masuyama and number 6 Mochiwuki come in, while the attacking trio of number 7 Soma, 15 Duke and 9 Fujipo are all recalled. Yuki Soma is a major attacking threat for the visitors, while Shota Fujio played a key role in securing promotion 2 seasons ago and was their top scorer last campaign with 9 goals. On the bench, 25-year-old Korean striker Oh Se-hyun will be ready to make an impact if called upon. Well, for Shanghai Port, just 3 games remain in the Chinese Super League season, and they lead the tail by 2 points from Chengdu Rongcheng and 3 from cross-city rivals Shanghai Shenhua. So it's all to play for there. But Shanghai Port have kept just 1 clean sheet in their last 21 matches. So a chance, perhaps, for the visitors to find some goals. So the final few moments before we get this one underway. And opportunities for both teams here to get what would be a first win of this Champions League Elite season. Like clockwork, just waiting for the time to tick to 1/4 the hour, so we can get this one away on time. Players out nice and early and ready to go. Sometimes the waiting can prove difficult, but we're almost ready to go. A little check of the watch. Just a couple of seconds remain before this whistle is blown. And we get underway in this AFC Champions League Elite game between Shanghai Port and Machida Zelvia. Shanghai Port in the red strip attacking the goal away to our right-hand side. Machida Zelvia in their change strip of the all-white. Shanghai We're going to play a 5-3-2 with Machida Zelvia sticking to their sort of tried and tested 3-4-2-1. There is Jacques. Soma losing out, but good work from E. Ball forward is picked up, and the free kick goes the way of Shanghai, but they lose possession pretty quickly. More defensive work to be done as the ball comes in. Good early touch for Chen in goal. Chen Wai, goalkeeper, just 4 appearances in the league this season, but he started every Asian Champions League game. Continues again here this evening. Not much movement in front of the keeper, so he rolls us out to Browning. Browning with the lofted ball forward, looking for the flick on, gets the flick on from Eve. And Shanghai, although lining up a 5-3-2, playing with the back three and pushing up the wing backs on either side. There is Kevin Muscat, in charge since December of 2023, 78 matches as head coach, won 51 of them. And there's his opposite number, Go Kurada. An extraordinary story he has. Before taking over here in February 2023, Go Kurada spent 28 years in charge of high school team Amori Yamada. In his first professional season, he collected the J2 title to get promotion from Machida to the J-League. 132 games in charge, winning 72 of them. And these two coaches actually met once before when Muscat was in charge of Yokohama in the J-League. They played each other in the Emperor's Cup back in July of 2023. Go Kurada's Machida came out on top by 4 goals to 1. Tani with a chance of first touch of the ball. Waves his defenders forward. And will bring it out of his area. And the pressure started to come from number 49E. Here is Mochizuki. It's the referee, so that'll be a drop ball. You can see the pitch is really starting to cut up over on that far side. But look at some of the divots that are starting to appear. Tony happy to be out of his box and with the ball at his feet. Vital leads the press and now try to apply pressure. Tony goes long and the little flick forward falls to Duke. Here is Duke into the middle, but offside for the Australian striker. Little shrug of the shoulders. Let's have another look. Okay, back to Tani we go. Nakayama on this left-hand side. This is Shoji. Back to Tani. Nakayama going up the line and Browning, good strong defending. Wins the throw-in on this near side. Jojo with ball in hand, ready to get us restarted. All right, boot. Nakayama gets it forward, and here is Soma. Looking for Duke. That's a lovely little ball from Duke, and here comes a long-range strike from Mochizuki. And the referee's got himself in the way again. Soma onto the right foot, should be comfortable enough for Chun, and it is. He bowls it out, and here is Chusep. Little look around, where's the pressure coming from? Plays it back to Browning. This is the skipper, Zhang. Vital. Chusep. Carried forward by Wei, who just checks his run. Vital under a little bit of pressure from Shimoda. Chusep trying to play that ball down the left-hand channel for Fu. Tani to Nakayama. Dropped out by E, and miscontrol from Wei. Gives Machida the throw on the far side. Shoji. Nakayama. Shoji again. Tresovic had offered on that right-hand touchline. You can see the shrug of the shoulders as to why he didn't get the pass. But he will now take the throw in. Tani. Ball forward, looking for Duke, but his knockback is picked up by Vital, but it might just fall here for Machida. Just a little bit behind the run of Fujio, and they couldn't keep possession. Shoji. Nakayama. Plenty of time for the Machida defenders to put their foot on the ball, have a little look up and see if there's any pass on. Shimoda goes up the line and asks Duke to chase that one. And away comes across to hook it clear and throw it on this near side. Soma with the throw back to Shoji. Soma again onto the right foot, look to curl this one in. That's a good, oh, it's been left by Duke and everybody else missed it. Tresovic coming in on the far side. Let's have another look at this one. Everyone was onside, Duke was the first. And it's gone all the way through. That's a lovely ball. Fujio and Mochizuki, the players at the back post. Nakayama, and they go to Tani again, and the moment the visitors enjoying plenty of possession. Just a little bit too direct as they turn possession back over. Chen under pressure from Ju, gets it clear, right-footed, looking for Jojo, who loses out in his battle. Long throw coming. Over the top of everyone, Browning gets it. And here is Vital. Onto Jusa. No way through. Well, that's loose though from Tani. But Jusa couldn't beat his first defender to apply more pressure to Machida. Shang. Here is Melendo, the Spaniard, off on running. This loses out, picks up a knock. He's not going to get any change from the referee, and Soma brings it forward. Soma. Timing of the run is good from Masayama. Cross comes in. Oh, that's a super save, and the follow-up is bundled in. And it is the visitors, Machida, who take the lead. Fujio, I think it is, bundling it in on that far side after an excellent first stop from Chen. His defenders couldn't get the ball cleared, and Fujio gives the visitors the lead here. On the side, that ball down the left by Soma, as this is stood up to the back post, all unmarked. Coming through the middle is Fujio, and under pressure. Is it bundled in by Fu? Let's have a look. Oh, has it come off Fu? I don't know, but let's credit the attacker. That's a super save from Chen. He was really exposed, but he did all he could do. No chance with the follow-up, and Fujio makes it Shanghai Port 0. Machida Zelvia 1. Well, it's got the visiting fans bouncing, and you'd have to say they deserve it. In fact, we're just checking. VAR is going to have a look at this. Offside possibly, that first pass from Soma to Masayama. From the naked eye in the first look at it, it looked okay. But our officials are called into action pretty early on. VAR, Saka Al-Zabi and Ahmed Al-Nakabi. VAR and assistant VAR, just playing referee Darwish, whether or not it's okay. Yeah, and it's goal stands, and Machida do have the lead. So Shanghai Port have now got to try and make something happen here. A little bit too over-enthusiastic from Mokazuki, although he goes down a little easily. Chen. No way forward, picked up by Masayama. He loses out. And foul eventually coming in, and well, Melendo doesn't seem too impressed by this challenge here. I think he felt he should have had a free kick a little earlier on as well. Here is Melendo, gets the ball back, space on this left-hand side if he can work it. Doesn't go for the pass, but it does make its way out to that left-hand side. Back it comes. On by way. Just a little ponderous from E. Almost gave possession away in a fairly dangerous position, and that is offside against Yi Shenglong. Yi Shenglong wears 14, Yi Xinshang wears 49. Jojo drops it back to Zhang. Patel, the number 10, trying to make things happen under a little bit of pressure. That's a lovely little flick off the outside of the right foot. And here goes Melendo once again to Vital. Vital, our first corner of the evening, goes the way of the host. Tresovic, the defender, putting it behind, and an alert to the short ball to the edge of the circle of Melendo. It is Melendo who is going to deliver this corner, out swinging. Little flick on, it's an important flick on, and then Tresovic gets the second touch, and Machida get it out of the initial danger zone. Shanghai Port still have possession on that far side. Vital goes past one, away past Tresovic, who stops the Brazilian in his tracks. Juice's touch wasn't quite what he wanted, but still finds a player in red. Here is Zhang. Zhang under pressure from Soma, plays it back to Chen. Chen, left-footed. Tani goes back across his goal. Tresovic under a little bit of pressure does well. And that's just sliced off the left boot, and Masayama has to work a little harder than perhaps he might have done. Tani shows composure, playing it straight up the middle, and that's a little bit too easy for Machida. Two passes straight up the centre of the park, gets them into Shanghai Port territory. Soma, a little cut-back pass, looking for Duke. Too much on it, into the hands of Chen. Jojo back to Browning. Acrobatically cleared by Nakayama. And here is Melendo. Melendo down the middle, looking for E. Couldn't quite bring it under control with that first touch. Good looking ball though from Melendo. And player down on this near side is Nakayama. A little bit of water being taken on. Oh, Nakayama holds his right ankle. Let's have another look. It was the right ankle. Was that an accidental tread on the ankle as he went through? Nothing malicious in that. Well, Kevin Muscat, up until, what, 24 hours ago, was the red-hot favourite to go to Rangers in Scotland as the new manager after they sacked Russell Martin after a disappointing start to the season, and it looked like it was a shoo-in. But well, football has a funny way of ripping up what people are thinking, and Danny Roll has been given the job. Muscat was asking to stay to the end of the season, or at least until, well, hopefully he will say Shanghai Port wrap up a third consecutive Chinese Super League title. That is going to go to November, given how tight it is at the top, and Rangers seem to be prepared to wait. But things happen behind closed doors, and that is off. And as quickly as it was off, Roll was appointed. Masayama. And all that chat must have been pretty destabilising for everybody involved at Shanghai Port. Now that's behind them. Can they settle in? That's a lovely little ball. Now a chance here for Masayama, but it's well closed down by Browning. Really good defensive work, but it was a beautiful little ball. So release the attack down that left-hand channel. First corner of the contest for Machida. To the far post, there's a chance, and that's a really good block. That fell to Shoji, the skipper, but his goal-bound shot stopped. Who gets the block on this? As he comes back, he's all unmarked. And the block made by E, number 14. So corner on the other side. The in-swinger, and helped on its way by Chen. Swung in by May, and Jojo gets it clear. Midpoint, just gone past the midpoint of the first half. Shanghai Port 0. Machida 1, the goal coming in the 13th minute. Fujio with it. Here is Soma. May. Soma again, a little bit of space for the number 7. It just opens up for him. Soma with the shot. It's into the bottom corner. Oh, the Shanghai Port defence just stood off him. And Soma needed no second invitation. Waltzed to the top of the penalty area and put it into Chen's bottom right-hand corner. And Soma doubles the lead. Look how they back off him. They can't apply the pressure. And it's a great finish. There's nothing that Chen can do about this one. Bottom corner. And it's Shanghai Port 0. Machida Zelvia 2. Well, Goal coming in the 25th minute, and Shanghai Port now with a mountain to climb. They need to get the next goal. With a long clearance, and Chen has to improvise, use his head. Booted clear by Wei. Kept alive by Dresovic. Here is Mokizuki. Shoji, just a little bit more zip about the Machida passing and play. Soma, little ball down the line, picked up by Masayama. He picks out Fujio. Fujio can't retain possession. Vital dropping really deep to pick up the ball, and they could be in trouble again here because Fujio has got no support. Chuka's arriving. Fujio turns Browning left and then right. A little chip over the top. Nobody there to put Chen under real pressure. And the goalkeeper gathers and tries to get Shanghai Port on the front foot quickly, but his clearance straight out of play on that far side. Kevin Muscat got a little bit of a puzzle to solve here. Great work from Mokizuka, and that's a really good tackle from Browning. Needed to be, because Mokizuki was in. Vital robbed on the edge of the circle, on the defensive part of his midfield, and little reverse ball from Masayama, cut out by Vital, who's supposed to be putting the strings in attack, but at the moment he's plugging the holes in defence. Chusa. Shang weighing up the options. Browning back to Chen. Chen, right foot, stabs it forward. And just helped on by Dresovic. Back to Tani. Chusa. Here is Melendo. Signed on a free from Cadiz in July. 10 appearances in the league and now third in the Champions League Elite. Played 10 games in the Europa League for Espanyol in 2019-2020. They reached the round of 32. Chusa dropping it out to Vital. He's getting further and further back here. The Shanghai Port number 10. Chusa. Little look over the shoulder, and Fujio's off to the races again, is he? No, stopped by Zhang, the Shanghai Port skipper. Melendo out to Jojo. The gap opens up. The ball just behind Melendo, who was reaching for it. Couldn't find the connection. Zhang back to Jojo. Yeah, just nicked away by Vital, and the foul coming in from Duke, just a little late. Nothing malicious in that one. Yeah, not too many free kicks. Melendo and Vital standing over it. Tani organising his defensive unit. Vital to the left of those two in red by the ball. Melendo to the right. And it's Melendo who's going to float it in, but there's absolutely nobody there. And Mitchell Duke, who gave away the free kick, is there to head it clear. Melendo to Vital. Vital. No real options in front of him, and so he has to go sideways. He's now got space over on that left-hand side. He wants it. Ball's almost a little heavy. Good control by the Brazilian to keep it in play. Vital. Little ding back to Jusa. Vital again. Aiming for this right-hand side to Jojo. But Tani is there to collect. Well, Shanghai Port, looking at the stats, have had more possession, but they've offered nothing really going forward. Tani hasn't had a shot, has he? I don't think. Machida Zelvia have had 4, they've scored 2, of which were on target. And there's a free kick, pretty comfortable decision for the referee to make. Climbing all over the back of Mokazuki. So Shimoda to deliver. Plenty of movement in the Shanghai Port box. Can Shimoda put it on the plate for one of his attackers? Shimoda delivers, looking for the far post, off the post, and just about got clear from Shanghai Port, who survive another big scare. Poor marking on the back post, it was a free header. They couldn't quite get it on target. Mitchell Duke with the header. Good save from Chen, who stayed big and kept it out with his chest. And Shanghai Port really are on the ropes here. They need half-time to come, and they need half-time to come without conceding another goal. Very much second best in the contest through 33, 34 minutes. And very, very nearly 3-0 down. Well, how close were we to a third goal? Shoji to Nakayama. Shimoda to May. Trasovic to Mochizuki. Soma, little give and go, but look how much space there is in the midfield on that occasion for Fujio to attack. Soma continues his run. Back it goes to Masayama. Masayama, way up his options. So Soma's got so much space. Jojo's completely lost him. And in the end, Soma just tries to be a little bit too cute. Didn't need to be quite so fancy. There's the first goal. This is the second, beautifully worked, Soma. And yeah, just disappearing there. from the defensive line. They're still going out. Nakazuki. Back it comes. Tresovic puts it in. Headed clear by Zhang. Back to Tresovic, who plays it back, and Tani standing 10-15 metres from the edge of the centre circle. Finds Nakayama. Tani to Shimoda. Nakayama, Tani. Shoji to Tani to Nakayama. This is May. May finds Shimoda. Nakayama. Shimoda once again, and very little pressure being applied. That's a lovely ball forward, picked up by Duke. Duke doubles back round, looking for Soma. Didn't quite find the right weighted pass to his attacking colleague. Well, Yuki Soma missed a penalty against Johor match day 2. And that's his maiden goal in the Champions League. Shoji. Nakayama filling in the centre of the back three now. May finds himself in defensive duties. Shoji. And now possession on the side of the visitors with, 7 minutes remaining in a first half that they have dominated. Haven't threatened often, but when they've got through, they've looked very potent indeed. Masayama draws the tackle from Jojo. That's Shanghai Port ball by looks things. Here is Jojo with the throw-in. No real options in the end. Goes short to E. And good pressure from Soma to keep Shanghai Port boxed down in that back right-hand corner as they try to play out. Here is Zhang, the captain. Interesting to see how far Zhang goes in this contest. He's returned to the matchday squad for the first time in a month. The Shanghai Port skipper wearing number 5. Coach Kuroda will be pretty happy with the way things have panned out in this one so far. His goalkeeper's had very little to do, and his attackers, when they've got into the area, have looked pretty dangerous. Tresovic. Duke, little ball in field, looking for Shimoda. Here is Nakayama. Soma just tried to flick it past Jojo and use his pace. Chusa into Vital. Vital playing it along the ground, looking for E. Juice's ball forward, and able to be collected. Yeah, more turnover ball. Is that offside? No, it's not as it is now. I was thinking that looked very offside from Fujio. Eventually the flag goes up. It's not as obvious as at first thought, but offside nevertheless. Walker falling for Jojo. And coming together with Masayama. So Masayama with the thrown on this near side. Back to his keeper Tani, right-footed, sends it into the Shanghai port. Half little nudge from Browning on Fujio, and lets that ball go obviously through to the Shanghai port back line. Yeah, good work from Mokizuki, just waiting for the touch from Fu, who does well to recover, to be fair to him. Chisa, Jojo, Chisa again. Shang. Oh, Jojo's touch was not a bad one. This is Yisheng Long, who wins the free kick off the challenge of Shoji. Is there to be a lifeline for Shanghai Port at the back end of the first half? Tani will be hoping to keep his goal intact. The defensive troubles for Shanghai continue. And more goals conceded. Tani dominating, coming and collecting the ball. Just has to hold on to it. Well, there you go. There is the dominance for Machida. 7 shots to none. 5 have been on target. Fans in good voice, unsurprisingly so, given the dominance of this first half performance. Oh, poor ball out, and they could be in trouble here. And Duke denied by a save by Chen. And Shanghai Port survive another massive scare. Just when AWOL at the back once more. This ball here, absolutely terrible. And the ball back into Duke, who took it on the outside of the right foot. Made the save slightly easier for Chen. So 4 minutes of added time. That's going to hurt. You saw him just slide on the turf. Extended the leg. Unfortunately, he's okay to continue, and they've lost possession again here, and Soma in again down this left-hand side into the middle. There's nobody there. Duke is saved, and somehow they are still only 2 down as it's put wide. And Shanghai Port, half-time cannot come fast enough. How Machida not added to their 2 goals, I don't know. Soma here. Here is Duke. And again he goes with the outside of the right foot. Clearly not confident in the ability of his left foot, because that just needed a left boot putting through it. Instead he tried to dink it past the keeper. Little shake of the head. That's 2 really good opportunities that Duke has had in the closing minutes of this first half. Swinging corner. Chen comes and punches, and the follow-up up and over the bar. Well, I think he'll be absolutely delighted with the way his team have gone about this first half. They've scored 2 goals, hit the woodwork, and have had 2 really good opportunities to add to their tally as well. Zhang. 2 more minutes of added time, or minimum of 2 more minutes, I should say. Moved on quickly by Shoji, Tresovic, and Mochizuki. No, it won't get there. Runs out of play for a goal kick. Chen weighing up his options, and in the end goes down the middle and has too much on it. Melendo can't get up to bring the header down. Tresovic back to Tani. Final 30 seconds of the opening half. Tani, too much on it. Soma though brings down the header, and again tries to get the ball forward and headed back into the hands of Chen. And there is the half-time whistle, and a half-time, or half of football, that has been dominated pretty much from start to finish by the visitors, Machida Zelvia. They took the lead in the 13th minute through Fujio as he bundled in at the far post, and a wonderful move in the midfield released Soma, who finished from just outside the box. Chen could do nothing about the 2 goals that he's conceded. He's had his right-hand post to thank on one occasion, and a couple of smart saves from Duke to keep the half-time score to just 2. Shanghai Port with all to do in the second half. The half-time score here in Shanghai. Shanghai Port 0, Machida Zelvia 2.
World's best airman for a record 9th time, flying high as the champions in the sky. And this year, best airline in the Middle East, world's best business class, best business class lounge. And yes, still a Skytrax 5-star airline. That's a lot of bests, and none of it happens without the best passengers. Thank you for flying with us, and for voting for us. We go further.
Substitutions for Shanghai FC. Player number 14, Li Sheng, is replaced by player number 47, Kuai Jiwen. Player number 3, Jiang Guangtai, is replaced by player number 40, Wu Mingjian Yusuf.
So welcome back. A half-time here in this match between Shanghai Port and Machida Zelvia. Machida Zelvia in total domination in that first half, leading by 2-0. Chen actually had a pretty decent first half. Couldn't do anything about the 2 goals he conceded and made some good saves to keep his side at just 2 down. And a couple of changes being made for Shanghai. I'll bring you those in confirmation of those in just a moment. And number 40, Yusuf Umijan, he's come on. And 47, Kuai Jiwen, has also come into the fray. So can they make a difference? And certainly Kevin Muscat will have had his work cut out at half-time, because his team were very much second best in that first half, and some positive stuff from the men in red at the start of this second half. But then the ball is hoofed here and Yusuf picks up. Here's Wei. Fu playing it infield. Vital dropping it back out. Well, it's made its way up to Kuai. Kuai looking for Fu, can't connect. And here is Fujio to Duke. So Yi Shenglong, one of the players to make way for Kuai, and the other is Browning, who's made way for Yusuf. Ball over the top, here is Duke laying it back, little ball back to Duke. Duke is about to pull the right foot back and just had the ball nicked off him as the foul comes in from Soma, who protests his innocence and is going to get a yellow card. It looked a little desperate. The optics weren't great, were they? Let's have another look. No, he does get the ball, but after he clatters into Vital's leg, it then comes back down. So, first yellow card of the contest goes the way of the second goal scorer, Soma. We're just left behind. And here is Yusuf. Vital. Lovely little touch around the corner. That doesn't come to anything on that occasion. Yeah, good pressure from Dresevic. Shimoda. Siyama fancies his chances against Jojo, so takes him on. Now it's a foot race to the byline, and that is last come off Zhang, so it'll be, I don't, it's a goal kick now. Yeah, that's what I thought it was originally. We might, I don't know. I think the referee might have got it right the very first time. Nice skills from Melendo out to that right hand side. Yes, up to Zhang. Yes, up forward. Straight to a white shirt, and it's back to Shanghai Port at 2 down, and given what's gone in the previous 50 and a bit minutes, Shanghai, as we mentioned in the first half, have to get the next goal. 3 down, you feel, would be far too big a deficit. Kevin Moscow trying to urge his players on and forward. Tani under a little bit of pressure from Yi Shenxing. And that pressure results in a loose pass out and a throw in for Shanghai Port. Tao with a lovely weighted lifted ball over the Machida midfield. It's got too much on it. Yeah, the crowd making themselves heard, but the reality is Machida are firmly in the driving seat. They don't need to chase this game. A foul coming in from Zhang and Soma. Yeah, the first touch is what gave Zhang a little bit of interest in that ball. Never really going to get there, was he? Again, Tani more than happy to come a long way out. And here's Kwai looking for the overlapping run of Fu. And for the first time in this contest, Tani a little bit rushed at the back for Machida. Dresevic up through that channel. And they could be in trouble. Chen commits, doesn't get there. Fortunately for him, Yusuf is there to mop up. Commits himself very early. He was a long way out of his penalty area. Intelligent little lead from Fujio down that left-hand channel. Soma not going to get past Yusuf on that occasion. Melendo, yeah, just dragged down, wasn't he? Mokazuki picks up on that loose ball. Duke back to Mokazuki through the legs, and here is Duke. Duke through, crossing and off the goal line by the skipper Shoji. Lovely work down the right-hand side by Duke and Mokizuki. Duke's ball across, the little dink over the top, and Shoji there to prevent Shanghai conceding a third. Fujio looking for a second, denied by Zhang. Duke with the flick, up and over the bar. To Duke playing with a smile on his face, but that was a really important stop by the very experienced skipper, showing 36 years of age. Now down the other end, chance maybe for Shanghai Port, just couldn't quite thread the ball through. That's the other skipper, Shoji now, who comes up with an important stop. Musa being asked just to leave that ball alone. And just puts the hands up to apologise. Machida Zelvia haven't scored more than 2 goals in a game since the end of August. Only 2 months. It's been tough going for them. They've enjoyed space and possession in this contest so far today. And they've made the most of it and could be well out of sight. That's loose. This is Mokizuki into Fujio and back into Soma. Soma left-footed! And there is the third, and you can't say it hasn't been coming. They have been knocking on the door, and it is Soma who gets the third goal. The first goal of the second half. It is Shanghai Port 0, Machida Zelvia 3, loose ball out of the back, and then a lovely little pass. Yeah, onside being played on by Fu on this near side. That's a great finish across the keeper. A really fine left-footed finish from Soma. Again, keeper, no chance. So again, VAR being called into play. It was called in the first goal, and now in the third. I don't see that as being called back for offside, but we'll wait and see. Is it offside? I shall wait and see. It was a fine finish. Shanghai Port supporters will be hoping it's offside, and neutrals will be hoping it's onside because it was well worked and it was a nice finish, left-footed across the keeper. It is offside. Well, that's really disappointing from Machida Zelvia's point of view. So that one is chalked off. And Fu will be a sigh of relief because he was the player who we thought might have played Soma onside. Well, Machida will continue to knock on the door. Well, that's loose. And a chance here, perhaps. And quite. They're going to have a look at this, are they? It's going against, well, if it goes against them, it's going to go against Shoji. I think he just uses his body effectively, does he not? And we have a substitution. Melendo is making way for Leo, who has 21 goals in 27 league matches this season, and they need him now more than ever. There is Leo. And 26, Leo Rofan also comes on. Now the other player making way. Get confirmation. That second change. Soma. Let's have another look at it. Oh, he's just offside, that left foot. The frustrating thing from his point of view is he didn't need to be there. I mean, he would have finished had he been half a yard back. It was just that sudden change in direction that caught him. And that's been sliced clear, but it's a throw in. No clear call from Chen to help his defender out. Okazuki. Oh, nice bit of skill from Chu. And in the end, just ran out of the pitch. It's a corner conceded. So the corner on this near side, Machida looking for a third goal. Shanghai Port have survived many scares in this contest. Here's the dink ball over, just a little bit too much on it, and offside will bring that attack to a stop. Here is Vital. Big right foot going all the way across, looking for Jojo, who's adjudged to have fouled. How is the question? Masiyama? Yeah, Masiyama. Well, will he require boots off? Yep. Shenxiang, 49, was the other player to make way when Melendo left checked out. Ball over the top, Okazuki threatening. Here is Soma, dispossessed by Jusa. Good hassling from Fujio to win it back. Dresovic. Little drop ball from May. Doesn't quite come off, just a little bit short for Mochizuki. Shoji reaching round, Dresovic showing his composure under pressure from Kwai. Duke goes down under the challenge of Fu. Duke is up and on his feet. He's okay to continue. Shimoda. Good ball into the channel. Fujio tries to hook it back across the danger area, but couldn't wrap his foot around it. Comfortably picked up by Chen. Out into the end of his penalty box, and then the foul coming in on the skipper. Fujio's little header. Can't find Duke, but then that's a loose pass from Fu. And more changes of foot, are there? As if Fujio is making way. He's going to make way for number 90, Oh. Fujio for O. And Na is coming on for Duke. Na Sang-ho. So the two attackers replaced by two attackers. And here is O, the Korean striker who brings Champions League, Asian Champions League experience. The side played 10 times for Ulsan and scored 3 goals in the competition. Just straying offside. Masayama. Shoji just mistiming the header, and then into the right hand side of the pitch, but nobody in white on or in that area. And at the moment, Shanghai Port still struggling to make an impact on this contest. Machida have once again dominated. Chen in the Machida and the Shanghai goal has been by far the busier. And Tani has yet to make a save. All the way to our left-hand side. 2-0 can be a dangerous scoreline, but a scoreline that can lull you into a full sense of security, and that's why they're looking for this third goal. Tani will collect that one pretty comfortably and bowls it out to Shimoda. Shimoda to O. Masayama. Mikayama. Shoji to Tani. Masayama. Nope, we've got more substitutions coming. 23 minutes remaining of
Substitution for Machida Zelvia. Player number 11,
so Masayama coming off, and coming on is Hayashi Kataro. Hayashi, one of 2 defenders to score 4 goals this season, the other being Okamura Hayachi for the visitors. First time ball from Kwai. Right idea, didn't quite have the direction of it. And that's gone against Machida. Good defence from Wei. And Chen using his head to get the ball out of the immediate danger zone. The little flick from Vital. Here is Shang, back to Vital. Yusuf. Shang. Trying to make that lead is Jojo down that right channel. Skipping past 1 and 2. That's a good looking ball, but then the stretch couldn't quite bring it under control. Leo was the intended target, and it wasn't very far away from ending up on the end of his boot. There he gets up, but can't get enough on the ball to retain possession. Tresovic as well, good little turn. And out to that left-hand side, here is Soma. Blocked by Zhang on the edge of the box, and it's just starting to open up now as Shanghai Port charge forward. Liu leading it. Vital. Yusa. This is Fu. Vital once more. Jusa. Space on that right-hand side if they can work it there. An extra pass being put in by Yusuf, and it'll mean that Machida can just shift across and close that down. He wins the free hit. And free kick taken by the skipper, Shang. Trying to feeding it through for Leo. And there's just a little bit more of a cutting edge for Shanghai. They just look a little bit more threatening. Haven't had this much possession this high up the pitch. And it's going to fall nicely here. Here's the chance. And Kwai went for the near post rather than putting it across to the far post. And the save is made as a corner. That's their first real shot on target. Kwai, to be fair to him, that ball across the middle was covered. So close for Shanghai Port. Ball headed clear by Mokizuki. Back out to Vital. Vital onto the right foot. Swings it in. And nobody, well, too close to the keeper, I should say, rather than nobody putting pressure on him. Delivery wasn't quite right. So, had to wait until, what, the 72nd minute for the first shot on target by Shanghai Port, but it was a well-worked move. And they've made their intentions clear as Na tries to make something happen. Na standing up to the far post, will flick on Soma. To left foot, he fires it across, parried into the middle, and Vital calmly brings it away. Oh, and lost on the edge of the circle by Kwai. Na. Shimoda. Nakayama now finding himself in the middle of that defensive line. Here he is again, having started on the left. Shimoda. Na. Tresovic. Mochizuki. Na. A lot of time, space on the ball as Mochizuki bundles through the first defender and then goes to ground in the box. No movement from the referee. Tresovic goes down pretty easily. Let's have another look. He kicks the back of Fu's leg. Fu Huan makes way for Lu Wenju. As this free kick prepares to come in. It's got plenty of curl on it and put behind for a corner of the body of Jusa. He wants him to Machida to hurry up. Minutes separating what would be Machida Zelvia's first ever win in the Champions League Elite. The in-swinger, the far post, and that was not the touch that Nagayama was after because he was all unmarked. Not a bad delivery at all. Just too far in front of the ball and just hooks it past that near post. Patel brought to ground. May. Can Shanghai Port find a breakthrough that would make the remaining minutes rather nervy for Machida Zelvia, because they've dominated with such large chunks of the game and they were suddenly start asking questions of themselves. Patel will get it back. Jusa, that's that right hand side, better movement. A chance here perhaps, the fake shot, then standing up to the back post. It's up and over everybody. Liu unable to link with Lu. Little flick off the top of O. Yusuf will chase that one comfortably, but it was offside anyway. Have a look here. Yeah. It's out. Under pressure from May. Wait. Somehow that makes it through to Vital. Little drop ball finds Kwai. Just has enough pace to make it through to Liu. Leo's in the middle if they can find him. Where's this ball going to drop? Leo trying to make a nuisance of himself. Machida Zelvia do well just to keep him out of the immediate danger zone. Soma, Chen's come a long way, he's out of position. Unfortunately for him, his defenders are there to get it out of play. But again, Chen showing he's not afraid to come out of his penalty area. Had to be sure there, didn't he? Could have got himself in a lot of trouble. He mistimed that one. Good looking ball from Na, but couldn't beat the second defender. So, final 10 minutes, still Shanghai Port 0, Machida Zelvia 2, as it was at half-time. Machida Zelvia thought they had a third through Soma, but it was ruled out for offside. Na pulls it back, that's an important heel. And Na again, away from Vital, and Vital makes the tackle, puts it behind for another corner in favour of the visitors. So more defending required for Shanghai Port. Trezovic is right in that 6-yard box, trying to make himself a nuisance in front of Chen. And Mokazuki and Liu being spoken to. It's a big corner to the back post, headed back across. Trezovic can't get a head on it, or a meaningful head, and a hat clear to the halfway line. And Machida will try and build once more. Na, a well-timed run, and decides he'll come back because didn't like the options in the centre. Trezovic, May, playing some lovely football, Machida. Retaining possession, not allowing Shanghai Port to build any sort of momentum. Trezovic. This is Nakayama. And look at that. Tani playing as almost a centre-back. Up over the top finds O. To Shimoda. Shimoda looking for Na. Na spins away from Yusuf. Na into the penalty area and being pulled down. Nothing coming for Machida. I'll tell you what, Na could have comfortably gone down under that sort of pressure. And if he might not have got the penalty, he might have called VAR into question, but he's turned Yusuf comfortably. And the time game starts. Shimoda to deliver. Goes to the near post this time. Vital's attempted clearance takes a body, and they're going to have to be sharp here, and they're not sharp enough, and Leo steals in. And Machida just fluffing their lines, and that's a really important pick from Soma. Shanghai Port threatened to break in transition. Soma's had a good game today. A bit lively. There goes Mokazuki once again. Mokazuki's cross, not the best. Well controlled by Dresovic. Nah. There's Tani again, playing as a sort of centre back. Dresovic. Nah. Shoji. Looking for the run of O. Nah. Really good keep ball here from Machida for the last, what, 3 or 4 minutes. Dresovic. Shimoda. In down this left-hand side, they've won themselves. No, they haven't. Offside. They might have won themselves yet another corner. Just a little stray offside. And Shanghai opting to try and play this out of the back line. They've done pretty nicely to this point. Soma can't keep it in. Vital, a little dink ball around the corner from Liu. Didn't come off for him. And again, Tani more than happy to get involved outside of his penalty area. 3.5 minutes remain. 3.5 minutes separating Machida Zelvia in a first ever Champions League Elite win in their debut season. Haven't been too many stoppages in this second half. We'll wait and see what the fourth official indicates. Dresovic takes that down, not under any sort of pressure. Mokizuki. Here is May. Mokizuki. Yet more running. Dresovic. Up and over the top, trying to just cause a little bit of confusion in the Shanghai Port defence, but coming well marshalled by Chen. Well, the last 8 minutes or so have been played pretty much in the Shanghai Port half, which is just where Machida Zelvia and coach Goroda will have wanted it, but there's still time. We saw a 97th minute winner down in Australia in the first of the Champions League Elite East games today. Here is Kwai. Chance here, maybe no. Just has passed through, just cut out. Dresovic. It's just been caught by Giuseppe. And Na will just run this up into the corner. At least he should just run it up into the corner. He's going to take them on, actually. He's going to give them a sniff. And there's going to be a card here. Shoji not happy with Giuseppe. And Giuseppe getting the card for the elbow in the eye. Leo across to have a conversation. change coming. Shimoda coming off, and Numata Takaya coming on. And Shimoda's done a lot of running. And Numata Takaya coming on. Let's have another look at this. Yeah, a little unnecessary for Juicer. It's like he's also cut himself in the process. Yeah, he has, yeah. Oh, he's shaking his head. But, there you go, 5 minutes of added time. Tani, Shoji to Tani, Leo, number 45, trying to put some pressure on the ball, but it's all a bit individual from Shanghai Port. The press isn't quite there. Way. Kept it in? No, you can't keep it in. Mochizuki will take the throw in. Tresovic. Oh, that is the first loose passage of play round the back from Machida Zelvia. Vital. Three and a half minutes remaining. Kizuki gets up nicely. So a hand from Na. Juicer. Tresovic gets the right foot to it. Kwai will have to be sharp, and is sharp. Drops it to Yusuf. This is Zhang. Good sliding interception from Shoji, still there though for the hosts, and it's then lashed clear. Well, they hang on to the win. This is going to take Machida to third in the standings and keep Shanghai Port rooted to the bottom of the table. There are teams with games in hand around Machida, such as Seoul, Gangwon. All of those could go above them if they win the game in hand. The first goal actually has gone down as an own goal for Fuhan and hasn't gone to Fujio. I'm sure Machida Zelvia will be too bothered. Is this the chance? Well, I tell you what, Leo gets a touch on that. Tani is a long way out of position. Tani taking his time. Gets this kick away. It'll probably be about a minute remaining. The Shanghai Port fans leaving the stadium. Disappointing result for them in the AFC Champions League Elite, but they've still got work to do in the Chinese Super League because they are the defending champions and looking for a fourth title, third straight. and top of the standings with a handful of games remaining. It's going to be an exciting, tight finish to the Chinese Super League this season. Also with the foul. Oh, good work from the Korean striker. May, a little look around. Hokizuki. Here is Na. Tresovic. And there is the final whistle. And a historic moment for Machida Zelvia of Japan as they win their first ever Champions League Elite game. It's their third game in their debut season, and it's a win that will take them to third in the table. They took the lead in the 13th minute. Pressure from Fujio on Fu meant that Fu bundled into his own goal. The goal originally given to Fujio, but then changed to an own goal to Fu. And then 13 minutes later, Soma, beautiful work in the midfield, scoring with a right-footed finish into the bottom corner. Nothing that Chen, the Shanghai Port goalkeeper, could do for either of those goals. Soma had the ball in the net again in the 56th minute, but that was ruled off for offside. But the Machida Zelvia fans up in the stand are bouncing in delight because their team have a first historic victory in the Champions League Elite. It's finished here in Shanghai. Shanghai Port 0, Machida Zelvia 2.
上海海港话题，将你的照片分享至朋友圈、小红书。